Hello, my name's James and welcome to this Trade Radiators video. Today we're going to do a very nice quick video where you can just sort of watch us over our shoulder as we pipe up two beautiful column radiators in this newly refurbished pub toilet that we've got behind us. Now obviously we've got two loos, we've got the gents just here and we're going to fit the radiator on this wall behind us, central, and then on the adjacent wall just through but also kind of offset, we've got the ladies radiator going in there as well. So if you just watch us as we go along, we'll show you the basics of how to make pipe work look nice, how to measure it up, but really you'll just be watching us over our shoulder as we get on with the job. I hope you enjoy this video. So number one on our list is to get the actual centre of this wall here. So we just do that by dividing obviously the width of the wall by 2. So that's 34 inches, so we've got 17. Notice I'm marking that down low out of the way. So now we know where our centre's going to be. And just cut out our new rad. And I hope you're noticing as well how well packaged these radiators are. Right, so if you've been watching many of our videos in the past, you'll know that there's a simple method to measuring up and installing one of these radiators. Now, first you want to have a look at these brackets, okay? These brackets are going to sit under here like so. So to know the distance of where you need to put the brackets when it comes to up and down, all you need to do is measure the distance between the centres of that hole there and that hole there. So on this one we're looking at 530. What I'm going to do is just swivel that down on a little box just here, so we know now it's 530. And then to get the centres of how far they want to be away from each other, I want one bracket on this on one in here and then one in on the other. I'm just going to measure that there like so. It's about 455. Like that. So now I know that as well. Basically all I want to do now is just ascertain how high up I want my radiator to be. And we know that when we put our bracket on here that we need to add about 1 inch, and then we'll know exactly where we want to put our bottom hole, like so. Just pop this out of our way. Now I always like the bottom of my rads to be about that there, so I'm going to put the bottom of our first bracket halfway up this tile here, and I think then that'll be a decent height for this radiator. So all I need to do, just make a mark halfway on that tile like so, and then 455 divided by 2, so 227.5, so we're just going to measure out like so, and then 2275 the other way, and make sure, double check all your measurements, so when you measure this whole lot out, that should be about, there we go, lovely, that's perfect. Right, so we know that's where the bottom of those ones are going to be. Now all we need to do is just grab ourselves a spirit level and measure up 530 first from here, so we know exactly where the bottom of our next bracket's going to be. 530 just there. So the next thing we need to do is just get our levels across the bottom here. So we know that we want to put the bottom of our radiator on this line there, pop that over there, and then we've got our bottom line there like so, and also our bottom line just there. So now we know exactly where the bottoms of these brackets are going to sit, just like that. And then we can measure up from this line here and this line here up 530 from our measurement earlier on. And if you want, just measure up off this middle one here as well. Just put a tiny little dot there. And then later on that's going to help us just get leveled up in a second. Because it's more important that this is all level as well. 2275 just there, like so. And then measure out 2275 like there. And then we've got the tops and bottoms of our brackets, nice and easy. Just quickly before you carry on, get your tape as well. 455, perfect. Make sure that everything's right as well. Just make sure that you're happy with your widths there. 5, lovely. Make sure you're happy with those depths on here. 530, so we know exactly where they're going to be. And then it's a matter, nice easy matter, of just going around with each one of your brackets and marking your holes up. Right, now I'm just going to go and get my drill and drill all these holes out. Right, so we've got all those screwed. I've just done the ones that are on the actual sliding scale for now. Once we make sure they're all right, we'll put a couple more holes in just to fix these in properly. As you can see, the screws you get sent are absolute beasts as well, so make sure you've got a decent enough drill to get them in. Just a matter of popping these on. Right, once we've got them two in, I can just now check, see what our levels are like, you see. Let's give that a little tap up. Boom, we're exactly there. And then I can just mark our smaller hole here, that usually I don't put a full 10mm fitting in one of these. I'll just put in a smaller sort of brown plug at 7mm and just a holding screw so they don't twist about a lot. And also, if you really want to as well at this point, you can just hang the rad on these two top ones and make sure that you've got the height you want before drilling loads more holes. So I'm really happy with that, that's lovely. So now I'm just gonna get these two in down below and then we can pop it on the wall and start piping it up. Right, so now we've got all four of our clips on and everything, we're all ready to go. I should just be able to lift up the radiator now and just make sure that it's gonna sit nicely in all of my clips. There you go, beautiful. And also a good idea now, put the bubble on there, make sure you're level. How about that? So as you can see there, we've got our two screws there. We've got our big one that's taking most of the weight and also our smaller one there that's helping, and also our smaller one there that's obviously helping take the weight as well, but also keeps the actual bracket in a nice square position. Right, so all we need to do now is a very simple part of the job. It's just prepare this radiator for going in and then we can think about how we're actually going to pipe it up. So job number one is just quickly preparing the tails for our radiator valves to go in. Make sure when you're putting your radiator valve on as well that it is either universal or that you already know which way the flow comes into the rad. If you've got a universal radiator valve, you'll know simply because it's got these two arrows pointing that way, and then it doesn't really matter which end of the radiator the valve goes on. What we need to do is just pull this tail off here, PTFE it, or use Boss White and hemp like the old days, and then pop that in your radiator and tighten that up now. Also, while we're at it, it's a great idea to pop on our bleed and also our bungs at the top of the radiator. So I'm just going to whip out the rubber travel bung they've got on here. I'm going to pop our bleed at this end. These don't need any PTFE in them because they've already got a nice little rubber O-ring on there and that should seal up nicely. Put these two out like that. Notice as well that I leave the decorative thermostatic head in the box. These go on last when the job is finished. Otherwise they just get damaged, so I'll just pop that out of the way. So now we've got our radiator in and hung on the walls nicely like that. It's decision time. We've got to pipe up our flow and return, which is just up here. We've got to come down through these Munson ring clips just here. We've got a little set just to do on there like so. And then also we've got to link up the two pipes that go through to the ladies, which are actually going to run under this higgledy-piggledy bit here, and then through those holes just there you can see into the ladies' loo. So really this isn't going to be a part that I can just sit down and explain to you as we go along. It's just best that you watch us do it over our shoulder. We'll try and speed it up so it's not about a million years long because this can take quite some time. But there are a few things you need to think about when you're doing this. Firstly, it's a drop down leg, which means it's very important that we put a drain off on some of the pipe work at the lowest point. So if anyone else comes to work on these radiators in the future, they can isolate this part of the leg and then drain this lot out without having any problems, without having to use buckets. They can just pop a hose on and do it like that. So I hope you enjoy watching us do this now. It's always a bit of a funny one because it's quite a cramped area for us to work in, but with any luck we should get it done and it's going to look absolutely beautiful. So I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy. So there you go, as you can see we've got our two pipes coming down here with our two little sets on there through our Munson rings. We've just done that solder through there for those pipes for the ladies, and now we've got these two dropping down here and we're just going to pipe them up into the radiator here, clip them up and make them look beautiful. Always a good idea as well to remove the gubbins on the inside of a drain off before you do any soldering, because you've got rubber components in here and if that gets hot it's going to melt and you're going to knacker your drain off. I'm just going to whip the rad off quickly as well, just get these clips done. There's no point putting all this lovely pipe work in if it's not properly clipped to the wall. If you've been soldering for as long as I have, you shouldn't really need a heat mat, but just in case, if you're not happy or anything like that, then definitely use one here. That gets a good old rub down. And then in a sec we're just going to nip all our joints up, make sure they're all done. Right then, so there we go, we're all piped up now, it's looking absolutely beautiful. Now to a lot of you, especially seasoned plumbers, you're going to find this a bit crazy, but because this pipework's exposed, I don't know if they're going to paint it or not, let's be good about our plumbing, yeah? Be amazing. I always get some Brasso and just give the pipes a Brasso, give them a quick clean. You will not believe the difference when they're done. They absolutely look brilliant. You have a look at this. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed today's Trade Radiators video, and I hope it's given you a great idea about how you can design pipework to look nice, and also the brilliant benefits of using Brasso, especially if you're not going to paint your copper pipe, to make it look absolutely amazing. If you need any more help, please visit the website at traderadiators.com, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.